Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Sidwell told Anna, Jason, Lucky, and Holly the new regulations to the game. Jason and Anna would both survive if Jason prevailed in a card game. Holly and Lucky would be able to survive if Lucky prevailed. They would all perish if Sidwell prevailed. Holly spoke up swiftly, seeming to throw Jason, Anna, and Lucky under the bus while pleading for her own life. Sidwell was still enraged. Before securing Lucky and Jason's seats to the card table with handcuffs, Sidwell ordered his thugs to remove Anna and Holly. Sidwell took a seat to play but was soon called away, so Jason and Lucky were left on their own. Lucky was informed by Jason that his purpose for being there was to bring Lucky home. Jason eventually broke the terrible news to Lucky that Lulu needed a liver transplant and that he might be her only chance, despite Lucky's insistence that he could take care of himself. Before Lucky could process any of this, Sidwell came back for a decisive card game. Jason gave up fast, allowing Lucky to win. Sidwell marveled at how Holly always managed to land on her feet as he ordered the guards to remove Jason. Admire B&B, Days, General Hospital, or other soap operas. Participate in the discussion on our SC boards. To interact with fans and start a conversation right now, click this link. When Holly and Anna were alone in a cell, Anna questioned why Holly had not attempted to assist Lucky earlier. Holly clarified that she was unaware that he needed to give Lulu a portion of his liver. Holly was enraged because Anna and Jason had disrupted all her plans to gain millions from Sidwell. Anna urged Holly to have Robert tell Robin how much Anna loved her since she was certain that Holly would live and Anna would die. After their marriage, Holly remarked to Anna that it had been the sweetest time in my life. Anna observed that Robert was satisfied with Holly. But if you pass away here, Robert will never be content again. I just can't think out a way to prevent it, Holly said. At that moment, the guards showed there and dragged Holly outside while throwing Jason in the jail. Jason expressed his regret to Anna for the game's loss. I knew you would, a knowing Anna remarked. Anna quickly lost it and started to wonder if they would survive. Jason tried soothing Anna, but then he threw caution to the wind and planted a kiss on her. Sidwell was back in the poker room, threatening Holly and ready for another round. As Lucky hurried to free Sidwell from his handcuffs, Holly finally gave him a slap across the cheek. Holly reached for Sidwell's revolver, but as soon as Lucky removed his handcuffs, Sidwell smacked it out of her hands. Stella ran into a thoughtful Tracy in the park. Tracy sat there looking glum while Stella babbled on about the weather. Tracy was unhappy that Stella had come for their appointment on time, which Tracy considered late. Stella became irritated as she saw Tracy wasn't genuinely upset about being late. At last, Tracy acknowledged that she was displeased with two employees at Quartermain because they were insubordinate and ill-mannered. Stella concurred that employees shouldn't act in such a way while on the job after Tracy revealed that Sasha had hosted a brunch for Cody's family. But Tracy had to acknowledge that Sasha and Cody had taken the day off to attend the brunch. Stella realized right away that Tracy's true issue stemmed from her feelings for Cody. Tracy promptly disclaimed to be in love with Cody. Stella expressed her opinion that Tracy shouldn't feel that way, but she could understand if she did. That Cody's a tall drink of water, Stella said in jest. Stella realized that Tracy considered Cody a close friend and that Sasha and Mac were not the people she wanted to replace her. Tracy had lost two pals that year, Finn and Gregory, Stella pointed out. Stella didn't want to lose another friend because she knew Tracy was going through a difficult moment. At last, Tracy acknowledged that Cody made her think of Luke. Stella and Tracy carried on their conversation, discussing loves, families, and former friends. In the end, Tracy expressed her regret for her behavior and expressed her hope that Stella would be open to another meeting. Are you still not able to identify it? Stella smiled and remarked, a good friend when they're sitting right next to you. As James arrived at the Quartermain stables for his riding lesson, Sasha and Cody were having a private moment. In order to allow James and Cody to spend quality time together, Sasha made herself unavailable. Cody was asked about his relationship with Sasha by James. James was told by Cody that Sasha was someone who had faith in him even when he had no faith in himself. Later, just as Tracy entered the stables and gave them a sharp look, Cody and Sasha began having sex on the table. Drew quarreled with Ned on Valentine's standing in the Quartermain solarium. Similar to Michael, Drew made fun of Ned for choosing to work with Valentine. "We've all made mistakes, Drew, including you," Ned replied. Drew insisted a new CEO was necessary for ELQ. Drew wanted Michael to take over, but Ned felt he should be the one. Ned brought up the fact that Drew had only taken on the Quartermain surname in order to run for office as they continued to quarrel. Ned also brought up Drew's legal issues with the SEC. Before things became too heated, Willow and Michael entered. Drew indicated that he had nominated Michael as the next CEO of ELQ. Willow went to the boathouse in order for Michael to get together with Ned and Drew. Drew pretended to be leaving as well, asking Ned and Michael to work things out. Ned told Michael that while he trusted Michael, he didn't trust Drew once Drew left. "I acknowledge that Drew is a quintessential Quartermain. He is self-centered and will take what he wants even though you have good intentions, Michael. That doesn't guarantee Drew does too. I can never trust him completely." Ned remarked, "You wouldn't either, if you were intelligent." Later, when Ned and James had some time to ourselves, James asked him if he ever gave anyone kisses. Ned acknowledged that he did, but only with Olivia, his wife. Although James observed that Maxie and Spinelli enjoyed sharing kisses, he had a question. If kissing makes people happy, then why would one make Willow sad? Astonished, Ned asked James. James agreed to provide Ned further explanations when he was asked. James stated bluntly, "I heard Willow telling Aunt Nina that she felt bad about kissing Drew." Later, knowing Willow would be there, Drew found himself at the boathouse. Although Willow was not pleased to see Drew, he wanted to express regret for upsetting her on their date with Michael. Willow at last expressed her feelings to Drew. "I've continually asked you to stay away, and it's like you don't care," Willow replied. Although Willow acknowledged having feelings for Drew, she said they were absolute crap. Drew wished Willow never to feel that way. "After that, discontinue it. Give up bumping into me and asking how I'm doing." Willow replied, "Drew, please leave me alone." She had to remind Drew to keep away from her again, and at last he turned and left. While keeping vigil in Lulu's hospital room, Carly assured her that assistance was on its way. Before long, Brennan was at the door informing her that the African crew had made a safe landing. Brennan said they were a great team after Carly thanked him. At the nurses' station came Lucky and Jason. Without delay, Lucky identified himself as Lulu's sibling. Portia grabbed Lucky right away so she could test his liver. Portia answered Lucky directly when he inquired about Lulu's condition. "Her condition is deteriorating, and we're running out of time," Portia stated. After taking Lucky's blood, Portia explained that they wanted to see if his liver fit the requirements for a transplant and, if so, if he was a match for Lulu. Lucky was evaluated by Portia to make sure he was in good enough physical shape to donate a portion of his liver. Lucky surprised Jason near the elevators when the exams were over and he was amazed that he was truly home. The men discussed the difficulty they had, as well as their loved ones, in going back to Port Charles. Prefer other soap operas over General Hospital, B&B, or Days? Come discuss with us on our SC boards. To engage in conversation and interact with fans, click this link right now. After exiting the elevator, Carly gave Lucky a quick hug. She told him that she had tried to contact Laura and Kevin but had not been successful in doing so. Lucky acknowledged receiving Carly's email regarding Bobby's passing and expressed regret for not responding sooner. Silently, Lucky entered Lulu's chamber, gave her a kiss, and let her know he was there. Then he had a flashback of when he was younger and chatting with Lulu. "I was absent when you most needed me, despite my pledge to look after you. I was too busy hiding in Africa or Ireland that I convinced myself that everything was going well for me, but you and I both know that I was only hiding and running." Carly and Jason reconciled after Portia took Lucky to meet Lulu. Jason didn't say much, but Carly was just relieved that he and Lucky were back home and secure. When Jason brought up Holly, Carly was taken aback. Carly remarked, "That's a name I did not expect to hear." Jason filled Carly in on all of Holly's assistance. "If Holly didn't love Luke so much, we'd probably all be dead," Jason stated. Carly was ecstatic to hear that she and Brennan were rescued by her friendship when Jason came to the part about the drone strike. Carly insisted she wasn't working with Brennan even if Jason wasn't pleased about it. Carly should not have trusted Brennan, Jason cautioned. Aiden was set down by Elizabeth to hear of Lucky's return. When she asked Aiden if he felt happy that his father was returned, he wasn't sure. "It's been a while since I've heard anything from him. Every time, I was the first to send an email to see if he would get in touch with me. I once let it go for 5 months," Aiden said. According to Aiden, he was happy that Lucky was returning and did not despise him. "It is not as if he is returning to get me. He's here to assist Aunt Lulu," stated Aiden. Aiden questioned whether his father would simply assist Lulu and depart once more, and he wasn't even positive he would see Lucky. Elizabeth was certain it wouldn't take place. Although Aiden acknowledged that their relationship would be awkward, he insisted that hanging out with Lucky would be fine. Elizabeth was asked if Aiden was like Lucky before he left for school. As for being compared to Elizabeth, he stated he preferred it. "It's true, and I might get called a mama's boy for saying it. I'm content to be my mother's son," Aiden remarked. Terry arrived by after Aiden left to let Elizabeth know that Lucky was at the hospital. "Is Lucky okay?" Elizabeth inquired. "He seemed like he'd been through some stuff," Terry commented. Lucky's reappearance was discussed by Elizabeth and Terry, who both admitted that Lucky was essentially a stranger. Terry was informed by Elizabeth that when she heard Lucky's voice on the phone, she felt something for the person he was, not necessarily the man Lucky was now. Elizabeth thought Lucky would take off soon. Lulu recovered. Lucky entered Bobby's, where Elizabeth was enjoying coffee, right before Terry arrived back at the hospital and heard from a relieved Portia that Luke was a match for Lulu. Relieved to finally be home, Anna settled down on the couch to unwind. "What are you doing, Devane?" she asked herself as she swiftly flashed back to kissing Jason. Felicia entered the room to pry into Anna's thoughts, but she could tell her companion was preoccupied. Felicia didn't buy Anna's attempts at an apology, even if she claimed to be exhausted. "I must hear the entire story of that excursion, beginning to end." "All the details," Felicia remarked. After telling Felicia everything that had occurred in the casino, Anna shocked Felicia by revealing that Holly was Sidwell's girlfriend. Felicia found it impressive that Holly had put herself in danger for Jason and Anna. The rest of the narrative was told to Felicia by Anna. Felicia expressed her gratitude to Jason for supporting Anna at her moment of despair. Felicia made the observation that Jason had comforted Robin when she was a teenager, and it made her expect he had also comforted Anna. Felicia wondered too if it was a coincidental drone strike that had spared them all. Holly was standing there as James opened the door. James recalled her, which startled Holly. Mac was surprised to see Holly when he entered the room and he let her in. Although Mac informed her that Robert wasn't present, she was still expecting to locate him and surprise him. Holly was asked to stay there until Mac returned from taking James to school. After being by herself, Holly made an enigmatic phone call to discuss ice. When Mac came back, he saw Holly had poured some champagne. Holly and Mac took their time catching up. When Mac revealed he had a son, Holly was taken aback. Ethan's mother, Holly, gave Mac an update, saying that her son was out of trouble and doing splendidly. Mac was direct when Holly finally inquired about Robert's situation. Since leaving WSB, Robert has created a happy life for himself here. Mac remarked, "I'm afraid your visit will spoil it." Holly walked out, furious. Upon Brennan's arrival in his office, Robert asked him about the latest developments in Africa. Robert was given a detailed explanation by Brennan, but he cautioned him that if Sidwell was still alive, then nobody he had just saved was safe. Brennan responded to Robert's inquiry about the identity of the fourth passenger on the aircraft with a query. Brennan questioned, "How worried should I be about Holly Sutton?" Robert said he'd check with Holly and get back to Brennan, but he didn't have an answer. After Brennan departed, Holly tried to knock on Robert's office door, but she gave up and walked out. Apologizing for being late, Nina entered Curtis's office. After giving Curtis's suit a quick glance, she expressed her admiration for his new appearance. Curtis kept Nina informed about the distributors of Crimson being all business. Discussions immediately shifted to Drew's campaign. Nina just burst into tears. Being with Drew as his campaign wife has been incredible, Nina remarked. What Nina meant by that was unclear to Curtis. As for Nina and Drew's relationship, Nina clarified that they were letting the public form their own opinions. Sounds to me like you're devoting a lot of time and energy to someone who's just a friend, Curtis said. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.